Hello, everyone. How y'all doing this morning? Hope you're blessed and feel highly favored. Hi, Coach. Hi, Janice. How are
Hi, how
you?
are you?
Good. I'm for the hit record now. Hello, welcome to Black Talk Show. With in the series, this is the third day of Manifesting Your Now, God and Business. I have with me this morning Janice Newman. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Tina. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for coming. So for the last 3 days, we've been talking about how God has decreed blessings on our lives already, and we have to go live in and manifest our what we are wanting for our life. And in business, we always got to put God first, because if without Him, nothing is possible. So we also been talking about sponsorship. We talked about sponsorship the first day, and then yesterday we had a discussion about how we manifested in our business, how we uh, adapt to the things that's going on in our lives and in our business. So today I would like for you to talk about how you manifest your now and God and business.
How I manifest God, I don't make a move unless I consult God. So God is first. For God, God is your counselor, your advisor, your protector. So why would you not consult Him first in every step of the way? So that's what I do for every step of the way. If I want to go on a new TV station or write an article, like I write articles for a weekly newspaper, I connect those, each one with a Bible verse. But I ask God what Bible verse or what lesson does He want me to write on, and then I focus that article on that verse that I get from God. So God is first for everything when it comes in business, and I think I've been more successful when I put God first.
Yes, I agree, because he's a maker of all things, right?
All things, maker of all things, everything's His. He's in control. He has the purse. He has everything, the money, the future, everything. So you have to go with Him in guidance.
Yeah. So I used a Bible verse. I started Job 22:28. Thou shalt also decree a thing, and it shall be established unto thee, and the light shall shine upon thy ways. So, of course, we have to always use decree that thing, and then trust and believe that He will make it come true. So,
yeah, I always believe.
go ahead.
Yeah, I believe you gotta trust God. If nothing else, Jesus says, "The man who puts his hand on the plow but looks back is not fit for the kingdom of God." So when God tells you to move on a business, move on a career path, and maybe if you're not seeing where He's wanting you to go, maybe God's telling you to go get a job instead of starting a business. Don't look at that as being a stop in your dreams or a pulling back from your dreams, because maybe God's putting you in that job to get you more information on how to start a business in that field. And He's just getting you the education and the insight. So
Yes.
even if you have dreams, consult God, because never know. For me, I went back to school to become a teacher. And from teaching, I was working with youth group, with youth, and I started a youth group. So if I didn't go back to become a teacher when God was telling me, hey, why don't you look into this field real quick? So I looked into it, and I'm like, well, I want more. And that gave me the desire because God was implanting it. But if I stayed in just solely real estate and appraising, I never would have did a youth group.
Yeah, never would have did it. Yeah. So hi, Dr. Delulu and Coach Roberta, how y'all doing this morning?
Greetings and great day. How is everyone? Greetings,
Great.
Janice and Roberta and Tina. How are you guys this morning?
We're good. We're good.
Fine. How are you, Jacqueline? Wonderful.
I'm good, thank
Okay. So Janice just told us about God and business and how it works in her life and how she always consult God first. So I also want to talk about how is it servant leadership, because I mean you work business and you have you using God as your the head, and then you follow what he downloaded in you, and then what is it you're gonna do in his kingdom? Like, what are you gonna do? Because we are the building. Like, the church is the church, but we are the building. We are the people that go out and serve his people. So what is servant leadership to you, uh Dr. Lulu? I couldn't get that out.
Servant leadership. So servant leadership starts with having a heart of a servant. Servant leadership is not, that's why the word servant is before the word leadership. It's not about just leading people. It's not just about, I'm the leader, I have the vision, and I'm in charge. Servant leadership is serving the people. Now, I'm going to say something, because if people haven't realized by now, I'm pretty raw, but I'm very real.
Mhm.
And I think what sometimes, and this isn't everybody, so if it doesn't apply, then please don't get insulted. But I think sometimes people are caught up on entourages, and servants are, they're not serving as much as they're being served. And I believe that they should be honored. But at the same token, when you're a leader, everything can't be assigned to someone else while you sit in a chair and you just look at everything that's unfolding. Leadership does have its various levels, but when you're a servant leader, I want to kind of make a distinction that we're not talking about the secular. Correct me if I'm wrong, Coach Tina. I believe we're talking about kingdom. We're talking about the people of God, the people that profess that they serve in their leadership, but they serve from a God-centered place. Yeah. And if we're serving from a God-centered place, we're not like secular leaders. There is no, I don't do this because everyone else does that. We are truly being led by God and the Holy Spirit. And that requires that we roll our sleeves up as servants. And doesn't mean we're not leading, but we're leading while we are yet working, while we are teaching, while we are nurturing. And I think that in some cases, don't want to put this on across everyone, but I think in some cases, in our churches of color, I think there's so much caught up on the rituals and the boxes and the titles and the roles that are assigned with those titles and those boxes. And that doesn't allow for effective leadership. Are you leading, or are you leading effectively? Because there's a difference between the two. So that's what that means to me, is that understanding that it's not about something that somebody wrote in a book or in a manual or in a pastor's manual. There's lots of books out here, and I do not criticize people because there should be order in everything that we do. But then there's the extreme where we're not being the servants that we're created to be in our leadership, because we're busy mimicking and going by this definition, and we're in this box. And that doesn't make for effective servant leadership where you are making a difference in people's lives. How many people have come off of drugs through our leadership?
Mhm.
How many people are progressing within our leadership? Do we have someone as a servant leader? Can I be replaced in the next 5 minutes? God forbid, should something happen to me. Who have I groomed that I can say, Coach Tina, I can't be there, but I'm going to send because she has everything that I have. Now that's a servant leader. How many
Yeah.
people around you have everything that you have that they could step into your shoes at a moment's notice? That's a really good servant leader. You're preparing people to step up and to be able to walk in your place, because none of us are going to be here forever. And we can't just hold on to the leadership part and we're not doing the servant part. And part of the servant is the teaching and the training and bringing people alongside us, not behind us, where we this language thing. Well, I'm bringing people up behind me. No, I'm not bringing anyone behind me. I'm bringing people alongside of me so that we are making a greater impact. And that doesn't take anything away from me as a leader.
Yes.
I'm done.
Coach Roberta, you have anything to say about servant leaders in business? Your sound is not on.
Thank you. I feel that I'm a toddler in this phase, or in this arena. But
at home.
I feel so. But as far as the knowledge part and how to express it, I always knew that I wanted to help. My business started from a place of help. All of our business, I believe, started from a place of help. And I looked, just to go back a little, I looked at the interview you and I had, the first one. This is the third of 3 series. The first one, I looked at that one and I wanted to say, yes, I do put God first, but it wasn't activated. I didn't do things out of my selfish gain. At least I don't think I did. When I first started with writing the book, I did not have that relationship to say, God, should I write this book? I just jumped in heart first and said, I wanted to help. So now every minute I have, like, God, if this is what you're supposed to happen, then let it be your will. But the thing is, I was never able to stop writing, even through everything that I've been through, living with a stranger, everything that I've been through, I couldn't stop writing. But what we talk about now, it's saying, well, God, show me the way. I didn't have that type of communication. I grew up in this Episcopal church. I didn't leave God, but I didn't pray to say, like how I'm doing now. It's like, God, what you do with this business? Should I go take this job, or should I just, and I'm not saying I hear the answers and understand it, but what I am learning is this faith. And it's like, I just want to just go straight ahead. I learned from a couple who I met recently. The name is Paul and Mary Bailey. And I'm learning so much from these folks. And one thing they said, it's like, you don't make really a bad decision. You might make a wrong decision, but this doesn't mean that it's bad. So if I decide to, let's say, take a job, because remember I said I wanted to run my business full time. It's not a wrong decision, or I don't know. I'm just saying that I'm new in the faith, and consider
You're
myself
learning.
I'm learning. I am truly learning here. So I'm listening to what Dr. Lulu have, what she just mentioned, what, the other ladies will be sharing. I'm actually here right now at a friendship fellowship event, and I'm learning, they're talking about faith. But one thing I must say for sure is that I do believe in God, hands down. Can't not taking that away from me, because that's the only being I had to go through everything that I've been through. And I didn't wake myself up this morning. I'm not keeping myself healthy. So I know
Yeah.
it's a higher force, right? So
Yeah.
God is not going nowhere, right? And I must say this, when I started my business initially, it was always in a place to serve, right? This new term, the leadership, I never looked at myself as any leader. So this is all new, but serving, absolutely serving. People have said, someone who had actually, he just called. He had purchased my book. I met him at a networking event, and he's like, Roberta, every chance he gets, he's like, you inspire me so much. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, when we met, you told me, I told you about the business that I'm doing, and you just spoke into me. And as I read your book, my mind just opened up to, what I can actually achieve. And he's, so, I mean, listen, I'm here to serve. I have no other, what else am I going to do while living, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm learning
Okay.
here.
Thank you. Okay, Janice.
Yes.
I was talking about servant leadership and then business.
With servant leadership, I agree with both of you ladies. Beautiful comments that you made. Beautiful comments. You have to call on everyone that's going to help you in your group. People have weaknesses and they have strengths. You should help them with their strengths also, but even their weaknesses. Because their weaknesses, if you focus on those to help them out, will build their strengths even stronger. But yes, use them when they're strong. If someone's a good speaker, if someone's a good organizer, to help build your organization. Call on everyone, but focus not only on their strengths, but their weaknesses, and help them develop those so they can be stronger in their strength and overall for their entire person.
Okay, thank you.
So like for me, my husband, he helps me out with our business. He helps me out, and also when I'm doing my TV show, my writing. And one of his strengths is he's more logical. So when I'm doing things or needing like either legal advice or even personal advice, like how is this going to come across to people, I'll go to him because his strength is legal part, more or less, being more logical. And then for his weaknesses is he's not as outgoing. So I've been trying to push him to work through that, like even through our ministry and even at church. He's speaking more in church, giving the Bible verses or giving the word of the day, the power message of the day. So I'm helping him build that strength up. So even though we have people that we want to call on their strength, we also have to focus on, even if it might be a weakness, to help build them up. And that will build them up overall.
Yes, I will. So servant leadership to me is like all you ladies said, is serving in a place that's coming from the heart to me. It has to come from here because that's the only way you're going to continue to keep serving the people that you serving, because everybody, let's be honest, you don't really like. It's not everybody. So it has to come from here to actually serve them, because sometimes you deal with people with difficult personalities or attitudes or whatever, however you want to put it. So you have to come from here when you're serving people, and you want to bring everybody, like Dr. Lulu say, beside you, not behind you. Because if you're bringing them behind you and you don't ever look back, then you don't know where they are or where they're at in that journey. So you need to bring them on the side of you so you can just keep an eye out for them and help them along the way. Because I find that if people, you shouldn't be looking back. you should be always looking forward. So that's why you need them on the side of you. You don't need them behind, you need them on the side, because that's how you lead. That's how you're going to lead them to where their destiny is. I know through different business I have, I've always tried to bring people along. I don't want anybody behind me. I want to bring everybody with me. So I don't think that when you get up out of your bed, you shouldn't be looking back at yesterday. You need to look at today. What you gonna do today? How you gonna serve today? Because yesterday's gone and tomorrow is not promised. So today is the day that you need to live in and serve in. And whoever you can bring along the way, do that from the heart. So anybody that has anything to add to the conversation that I hadn't thought about, because I want this to be, a dialogue.
I guess for me, it's something to add, just that to always remember that Jesus should be in front of us. We're following Jesus.
Mhm,
Whenever we find ourselves in front of Jesus, there's a problem.
mhm,
Even as a leader, we should never, ever be in front of Jesus. We should always be seeing Jesus' back and we're following him.
mhm,
And that's where a lot of ministers or people, it seems like, in either all sectors of the world, it seems like, in careers, they want to say that it's them and they're in front of Jesus. It's all them and they are not getting any help. And that's where they're falling short, because if we're Christians and true Christians, we should be following Jesus. And to follow Jesus, he's in front of us. We're seeing his back. We're not in front of him and he's seeing our back.
mhm,
So same thing with leadership, that we have to have our people that we're actually pushing them ahead of us.
mhm.
So they are following Jesus also and not following us.
Yeah, yeah. So Dr. Lulu.
And ladies, I'm going to jump back into the event that's taking place. I don't know if you can hear it at the back. I
Okay.
wish I could really do a reverse
Yeah.
camera. But,
But,
yes,
but thank you.
Thank you so much. I had to hop in and out, come back to listen to this in its entirety for sure.
Okay.
So,
Thank you so
Thank
much. Have a great
Thank you.
day.
Have a great
Thank you,
day. Yeah.
ladies, too. Yep.
Thank you so much, Tina.
Yeah. You're welcome.
So I just want to go off of just a little bit of where our Queen Janice left off, is that we absolutely have to have God in the front. If we are going to say that we're God-centered, and if we're operating in the secular and our business, and we're leading in the marketplace, we're leading, and if we're separating, some people do this, and this is not a criticism. Some people totally separate their walk from God from their business, their career, whatever they're doing. If we are saying that God is first in our life and he's the head of our life in every aspect of our life, then he's got to be the leader. And I can't leave without giving that scripture: in all of your ways, acknowledge him and he will direct your path. And lean not to your own understanding. That doesn't mean that we don't have education. That doesn't mean that we don't put in the work and that we don't show up in excellence. It simply means exactly what it said. Acknowledge him in all your ways, and he shall direct your path, so that he's always in front. And when he's the GPS, he's navigating, then you know what? You don't find yourselves caught up in the whirlwind of tornadoes. There's storms. We know we go through the storms of life. But then there are times when you seem to be in the center of a tornado, or you're in the eye of a hurricane, and you're trying to figure out, okay, when am I going to get out of this? How am I going to get out of it? Make sure that God is in the front, that you are being led by God, because that's how you actually come through the storm. This is how you come through the hurricanes of life. And remember that those that did go through something, when God was leading them, He was either in it with them or he was bringing them out. He
Mhm.
was in the lion's den with Daniel, and the story, if you research the scriptures in the story, the Hebrew boys, when they came out, they didn't smell like smoke, and they didn't look burnt up, because he was in there with them. It says the
Mhm.
king looked down and said, how many did you put in? Because I see another, and he looks like the Son of God. And so
Mhm.
these are the things that people may struggle with. Well, I can't make it all about religion. It's not about religion. You
Mhm.
should never make it about religion. We're not talking about religion. We're talking about relationship. We're
Mhm.
talking about a personal relationship where we have someone that is the head of our lives. And in this case, God, Allah, Adonai, Yahweh, Jesus, Krishna. You may call, God has so many different names. I have a book called The Many Names of God, and it's so many, OMG. But our creator, God, the one that created the heavens and the earth, when he's at the head, when he's leading us, then we know that regardless of what happens, we know that he's going to make sure that we land in a safe place, that we make it to the promised land that we're
Mhm.
looking for. People have different promised lands. Somebody's promised land right now may be, because you can have more than one promised land that you're looking to get to. And then you may get there and say, okay, now I'm ready to go to another land and another land. Somebody's promised land may be, I want to earn 6 figures. I want a promotion on my job. I want my business to go from 6 figures to 7 figures. Whatever that part of your promised land is, make sure that God is leading you there, because he can. There are tons of successful people that God is at the head of their life. Where things get rocky is when we try to live in both worlds.
Mhm.
This part of God ain't going to work in this situation, so I'm going to lay it on the side and I'm going to gravitate to something different over here, because that's what's going to get me to where I want to be. The reality is that God can get us everywhere we want to be, as long as we don't deviate from what the plan is. And in order not to deviate, he has to be the leader.
Really,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you so much, Coach Tina. I've enjoyed being here today, and I'm grateful and I honor you because you are a servant leader.
All right,
And
thanks.
Queen Janice, thank you for your words. You guys are the epitome of servant leaders, and I just want to honor you for that today.
All right, thank you. And same goes to you. You're a servant leader too. You are. I appreciate you too for being here. And for final words, I'll give Dr. Ludo. I'll give you two after Janice. Then we'll end the.
Well, final word is definitely, for me, I put God first. Just always put God first. He will not do wrong. He will lead you the right path. Even if something as simple as God wants you to be and show compassion to a stranger, just trust him and go with it. Because if you know in your heart, and we are Christians and we have God in our heart and our minds, and he's giving us guidance, if he's telling you to do something, follow it. Because that could be a step in business. That could be just a small step in helping to save a person, that they become to know Jesus, something just showing a little bit of compassion and kindness. And that goes a long way, a very long way. And if you keep God first, remember him, he will help you succeed in business, all your venture, and get you to what he has promised you. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you. So Dr. Lulu, final words.
Don't give up. Don't give up. That's the final word.
Mhm.
Don't give up. The minute you give up, it's right before you're going to reach the goal. Don't give up. Stay encouraged. Don't give up. The race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but he who endures to the end.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank both of you ladies for coming on the show. I think I think we all gave something that I hope that somebody in the audience can take with them and help them through the day. This is Hump Day, so hope this helped them get through the hump, whatever the valley they're in right now. That they got to go to God first and know that His promises will help them through whatever they're going through. So I thank both of you ladies for being here. And this is I think this is how we manifest our now, by telling God what we are asking God what we need, not just telling him, but asking him. I said, right now, Lord, right now. I use that word, right now, Lord. And it happens. It happens because if I go to him in prayer, and I think if everybody go to him in prayer, when they jump out of their bed, get on their knees. And if you can't get on your knees, just pray and ask him for whatever that is that you need today to get over that hump. He will provide. He don't fail. And if you failing right now, it's because you're not going to who's the maker, who's the one that can provide. So y'all all have a blessed day. Enjoy your rest of your week. And may God continue to bless you. Thank you, Dr. Lulu, and thank you, Janice.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm.